Paul, this isn't who we are. We're better than this. No, we're not. This is who we are as a country. What you're seeing is now white people are seeing what this country actually is. Now we're seeing the white hoods. Now we're seeing the cosplay Christians. Now we're seeing the original sin of this country that we've ignored for generations. 77 million people went to the voting booth, including people in my life, and voted for a rapist. 77 million people voted for a pedophile. 77 million people voted for a convicted felon in a court of law by a jury of his peers, including 2 MAGA supporters on that jury. 77 million people voted for a man who's on his 3rd marriage, that cosplays as a Christian, can't even tell you what his favorite book in the Bible is, and while his wife is at home with their 2-week-old son, is screwing Stormy Daniels in Las Vegas. 77 million people saw January 6th while he sat on his fat ass, crapping his diapers, eating Big Macs, while officers were beaten and 5 died. This is who we are. When are we going to accept it? When are we going to stop acting like this is not what America is? We were built on slavery, Jim Crow, racism, misogyny. We're 249 years into this experiment. Half of our country are comprised of women. Not one woman president. Native Americans, we murdered millions of them. Hung over 8,000 black people in trees. The Middle Passage, where 1.4 million people died, African Americans, because white men were too lazy to do the jobs themselves. Almost 2,000 Asians died in internment camps. 40,000 people die every year from gun violence. There's nothing we can do because we're patriots and we're a Christian nation. This is who we are, America. This is who we are. We simply refuse to accept that we're a shithole country. We have only been great for white people. And yes, if you voted for a rapist, you are a shitty person. If you accepted rape and misogyny and grabbing women by the pussy and cheating on his wife and having dinner with Nick Fuentes and felonies because you wanted cheap eggs, then you're nothing more than a capitalistic whore. And it's rich that so many of these white people wave their crosses in their Bibles and talk about God, God, Jesus, Jesus, God, God. And the only reason you didn't vote for the black woman, other than she was a black woman, is abortion. Oh, and it's not even scriptural because you're so goddamn stupid. But when people are shot in fucking schools, there's nothing we can do. When there's 42 people needing government assistance to eat, there's nothing we can do here. 14 million children go to school hungry. There's nothing we can do. That's socialism. But did you see the tampon in the boys' bathroom? Traditional family values is going away, and that's what this is about. White, 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 white. When you look at the election of Trump, the only majority that did not vote for Harris was white people. Zoran Mamdani, the only demographic that didn't vote for him in majority, white people. The problem with this country is my demographic, slavery, white people, Jim Crow, white people, George Floyd, white people, Ahmaud Arbery, white people. The vast majority of gun violence is white, angry, pissed off, insecure, emotionally unstable white men. The rapist of the White House, a white man. RFK, Wormbrains, who had so many affairs that his wife took his own life, a white man. Matt Gaetz, who Donald Trump nominated, had sex with a minor girl, white man. Pete Hegseth, $50,000 for sexually assaulting a woman, a white man. You see a trend? Do you see a trend? White men are the problem in this fucking country. And we don't want to face it. And there's too many people that look like me that are unwilling to have this fucking conversation, and I'm frankly sick of it. How many people in your life, and I know they're not going to talk to their MAGA friend because I don't want to ruin that relationship. Wow. Well, I don't know about you, but if your friend voted for an adjudicated rapist and a pedophile, and you're not even willing to have a conversation, then you're part of why we're here as a country. You're not willing to do the bare minimum. You think our black brothers and sisters have that luxury of just ignoring it? You think immigrants have that luxury? Latinos, Asians, anybody that's not white? They don't have that fucking luxury of just putting their head up their ass and saying, well, I don't want to make my friend upset. Uncle Bob's coming over for Thanksgiving. I don't want him to be mad at me. It's no different than the 3 officers that stood by and watched George Floyd get murdered by a white cop. You're complicit in this. And every white person that is still sitting in their privilege is complicit in what's happening. Martin Luther King said, we will not remember the words of our enemies, the silence of our friends. This is who we are as a country. It's who we've always been. When are we going to address why we're here? It was never the price of eggs. It was never overtime. The reality is, part of this country was triggered by a black man sitting in the White House instead of picking their cotton. They want the inside of the White House to look like the outside of the White House. And they went back to what they know. The quote from LBJ, and I'm going to paraphrase it for 2025. This country will vote for the most morally bankrupt piece of shit, rapist, pedophile president who can't even keep his own marriage vows, who caused an insurrection leading to the death of 5 officers, who is literally stealing your taxes and tearing down the East Wing of the White House, destroying democracy over the most qualified black woman. Have a white day.